And now, it's Boomer Life. Lifestyle discussion designed to make your life more engaging, meaningful, and complete. Celebrating the baby boomer generation, this is Boomer Life on CIL 650.
Let me go home. I'm just too far.
And welcome to Boomer Life on CIL 650. I'm Joanne Sutton, and today on Boomer Life, we're going to focus on the many positive living options available to seniors in British Columbia. We've brought together a panel of experts today who make it their job to see that seniors in BC feel empowered and educated about the options that are available to them that can actually dramatically improve their quality of life. So joining us in the studio today from the BC Seniors Living Association, which I will refer to on occasion as BCSLA, we have the Executive Director with us today, Marlene Williams, along with Lydia Miller, BCSLA Assessor, Tom Bayliss, BCSLA Assessor, and Michelle Cunnington joins us today. She's the General Manager of Cavell Gardens. So welcome to all of you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us here. And we're going to go around the table right now and just do a small introduction. I'll get each of one of you to introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about yourself so we know who we're talking to. And Marlene, we're going to start with you.
I'm Marlene Williams, and I am the Executive Director of the BC Seniors Living Association. I have been with the association for coming up to 9 years. And, you know, my previous background was the hotel industry in sales and marketing, and so the association headhunted me about eight and a half years ago because they wanted to bring somebody into the association to work better with the members, to implement beneficial programs for the members, and to grow the association. And so one of the things that we did, we're going to be talking about today, was doing a benefit, the seal of approval program for our members.
Excellent. And obviously you were passionate about this. You jumped on board and said, I can do this.
Well, I might not have quite said that, but I jumped right in, and I hopefully did do it.
Oh, that's wonderful. We're glad to have you here. And now, Lydia Miller, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, similar to Marlene, I have a background in the hospitality industry, in sales and marketing, and I didn't get into the senior living association, but the industry until about 4 years ago by writing articles. I do sales training. I am an independent contractor with the association, but the aspect of being able to help operators operate better and have best practices standards in place so that they have a feel-good feeling when they're welcoming new residents into their home and taking care of the current ones living there. It's quite a fulfilling feeling, you know, from being in the sales business in hotels, from, hi, welcome for the day, see you in a year, maybe. But these seniors that come live with the homes, they're there. They're always there.
It sounds like you enjoy what you do.
I do. And to help others transition into the industry, I also do career coaching. So if you're coming from hospitality or another discipline, I help you navigate the nuances of moving into an emotional industry.
Excellent. Sounds like a great background as well. Michelle Cunnington.
Yes, indeed.
A little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been the general manager of Cavell Gardens for 7 years, as long as I've been in this wonderful country. And it's a wonderful 128-bedded community based up in Mount Pleasant in Vancouver. It's family run, which is rather unique, so we're not part of a bigger organization. And my background, I've got 20 years in the care trade, predominantly in the UK, and my background is dementia care, so it's quite unusual for me to come into independent support of it. It took a little bit of time for me to adjust.
A little transition.
Exactly, to be providing a service to seniors who are able to speak on behalf of themselves and tell me basically how to do my job. That was the difference. Yeah, I think I've managed to sort of get there in the end, and I think we provide a very good service.
Excellent. Michelle, nice to meet you. Tom Bayliss, our fourth guest today. Tom, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I come from a rather different background from the other guests here today. I'm originally from the UK, but spent 38 years in Africa. And my background really comes from senior management, international automotive corporations. So been in Japan, Australia, UK, North and South America, doing business for them. And about 30 years ago, I did 10 years of chaplaincy in Cape Town, and that really grabbed my heart for seniors. So 23 years ago, we moved to Canada, and I did a real career switch from automotive to seniors housing. And I think it's the best thing I ever did. I really am passionate about what I do, but I served with Baptist Housing for almost 12 years and built and managed the 2 Shannon Oaks operations, one in Vancouver, one in Victoria. And we also did the first new construction of the ILBC assisted living government program in Vancouver.
Oh, excellent.
So I was part of an industry group writing health and safety standards for assisted living prior to it being enacted. Was later on call and worked with the assisted living registrar, served on the BCSLA board for 2 years, and was appointed the assessor of the seal of approval, which position I held for the past 6 years, and having completed my best guess, Marlene, like 200 odd assessments. Yep, third time round.
Probably even a little bit more of that, because we have 87 buildings and some are on their third assessment. So
Wow.
you're probably almost
Tom's been a
hitting up
busy
to
guy.
3.
Yeah. So and like Lydia, the benefit actually is because I'm also an independent contractor and also help people with sales training and other stuff as well. But it's walking away from a site at the end of the day, knowing that that person you've worked with is on a real high, that resident you're walking away from is operating at the highest standards in the industry. I mean, that's really a high.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us. I could talk to Tom. I could speak to all of you for hours on end. And it's not surprising to have more than one career in your lifetime, but I think you had to spend those years in the automotive industry to determine that you were really a people person.
To get my management skills all honed up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Marlene, we're coming back to you as the Executive Director with the BC Seniors Living Association. And I know we're going to be talking a lot today about the seal of approval and the jobs of the assessors. Can you just paint us a little bit of a picture first about the role of BC Seniors Living and what they do?
Okay, so BC Seniors Living Association, we're a very, very young association. We're only going into our 13th year. And it was started by a group of individuals that felt that there was a need for the independent living communities to be able to network and to share best practices and work together as a group, because there wasn't an association until then. So the BCSLA was formed in 2002, incorporated in 2003. And then shortly after that, we started out with, I think, 12 or 15 sites, and then I went to 38 and then 58, and we've just kind of grown over all the years. Now we're sitting at 156 site buildings. Wow. And over 110 associate members who provide services to our industry. So the mandate of the association is to provide networking opportunities, to provide education opportunities, to work with the communities, to write, we've got a human resources policy and procedures manual if somebody needs it. We've just recently completed our seal of approval policy and procedures manual, which is just completed last week, and we're very, very excited that we're able now to offer that to our members. We advocate to the government on issues that affect our industry and our members. So that's starting to be a bigger part of what the association does, because there are some challenges going on right now. So we do interact with the government, because in 2006, and Tom, you might know this better than me, yeah, the assisted living registrar in British Columbia was established. And so then the independent living communities that we deal with, or that our members have, also got assisted living registered, either funded or private pay in their buildings. So that's why we do interact with the government more, because the assisted living section of the industry is regulated under the Home and Community Care Act. So we do a little bit of both. So we do a lot of great stuff for our members, and then we do interact with the government as well. We deal with the Minister of Health, with the Parliamentary Secretary for Seniors, to the Seniors Advocate. So we're starting to be a very, very busy little group.
And a very vocal group. And it's probably why you're drawing people from other industries, because the whole seniors industry had never been developed to this extent. They need a voice like yours.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting you say that, because about 3 years ago, we worked with Thompson River University, and we actually implemented, and it's up and running right now, an online senior living management certificate. And so you can go online, and it trains people to be a really high-end management or a general manager of a retirement community. So they have that program going. And then since then, the Vancouver Premier College, who runs a hospitality and tourism program that specializes in hotels, food and beverage, and event management, but more so for the line staff or the middle supervisors, have approached us, and we're writing a program with them to enable, people that don't really want to run the community, but they want to work in it. So we've just started that project, and so that's another thing that the association does, is we try to ensure that we have programs available for people not in our industry to come work in our industry because of their love for either the seniors or just the actual industry itself.
Absolutely. And for the massive growth of aging population, right?
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the vision statement, right? The true vision statement of BC Seniors Living Association. I expect that we might all see this a little bit differently, even though you have a main focus of what it is. Do you want to read it?
Sure. BC Senior Living Association's vision is to inspire, support, and advocate for members of the senior living industry.
It sounds very simple, but let's go around the table and see what that means to every individual here. Can we do that? Lydia, do you have a take on that?
For me, for me, it's ensuring that everybody has a common ground level expectation of where we want to be, how we want to operate, how we want to treat people and be treated.
Sounds great. Michelle?
Well, for me, especially managing a smaller, like one-off community, it allows us inclusion and credibility within our industry. But the best thing of all is the BCSLA, the BC Seniors Living Association, sorry. It allows us to network and to share ideas, all for I suppose the end goal is to, improve lives for our seniors. So it's a very wonderful association to be part of.
And Tom?
Yeah, I would say this. I've sat in Michelle's chair for many, many years, managing seniors' retirement communities, and one of the things that was lacking was the networking. And I think once you start networking and you buy into the association, and you see that it does in fact inspire support and advocate for the members. Just to mention one little thing, 3 of us directors went to the legislative building regarding the Residential Tenancy Act, spoke with the MLA, and actually had the direction they were going in, it was changed.
And it wouldn't have been had you not spoken up.
Bill 27 was not enacted.
Yeah.
So
was this recent? Sorry?
No, 2006.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, I was recruited right early days to be a member of the association. So I'm in my 13th year as well now with the association. And I'm just so passionate about it. Really am.
Thanks, Tom. What are some of the biggest challenges facing seniors today? I know we could go off, but it's just a quick summary.
I think the misconception of what our particular industry has to offer. Everybody wants to stay in their home. My mother did too. She didn't leave her home till she was 86. But there's a misconception that if they move into a congregate living style community, we're going to lock them up and throw away the key.
Right.
There's a misconception of, number one, they need to decide if they're going to be ready and when they're going to be ready. And then once they do that, there's a misconception out there that, I'm going to go there and I'm not going to like anything. And then they get in our community. I actually just talked to a friend of mine whose parents moved in 2 years ago to one of our members in White Rock, the Pacifica. And I said to her, "Oh, Michelle, how do your parents love it there?" And she said, "Oh, Marlene, they said to me, why didn't you get us to do this earlier?" They all say that. And so the misconception is that when you move into an independent living, it's completely independent. You come and go as you please. You can direct your own care. You do what you like. You can eat with you know, whoever you want. If you want to participate in activities, you can. You don't have to if you don't want to. And I think that's one of the big challenges right now, that seniors aren't necessarily, there isn't an avenue for seniors to access resources that maybe even our association can provide to them. However, we're limited in resources from a staffing perspective to get out there and promote that. So that's why we like to come to shows like this, is because we need to say, you don't have to go into long-term care, and it's not the place you go to die. Our places, you come to live. That's what you come to our places for. So
We've come a long way from putting our parents in nursing homes back in the day to creating an incredible independent living environment for you and me and yourself and your neighbors and your friends and your family, right?
And just on that note, they do not move into a home, they move into their home. So our home is now their home. And I think that's a big distinction that we're trying to get out there and get that across to the general public.
And how does the BC Seniors Living Association get their message out to the public? And how do we issue seals of approvals to all the different buildings that are around the Lower Mainland? That information is still to come. You're listening to Boomer Life on CL 650. Joining us in the studio from the BC Seniors Living Association, our Executive Director, Marlene Williams, along with Lydia Miller, an assessor, Tom Bayliss, also an assessor, and Michelle Cunnington, General Manager from Cavell Gardens. Get more information online, www.bcsla.ca. And coming up next, we will be having a discussion on the difference between independent living and assisted living. That's next on Boomer Life on CL 650.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.